I'm Joanna Small, the Public Information Officer for the Commerce City Police Department. It's Monday, April 29th, and these are your weekend high or lowlights, depending on how you look at it. It's essentially our video blotter where we give you a rundown of the most significant incidents your CCPD patrol officers responded to over the weekend. But we do like to start off with a few fast facts. We answered 328 calls for service and made 86 traffic stops. Now, here are those highlights in chronological order. On Friday, officers responded to Suncor in the 5800 block of Brighton Boulevard for a very high-dollar felony theft case. A driver who has since been identified repeatedly filled a tanker truck with fuel without permission. The bill amounts to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Detectives are now investigating this incident. Also on Friday, officers were sent to a recovered stolen vehicle call in the 5500 block of East 60th Avenue, which is an apartment parking lot. It turns out the vehicle was stolen in a carjacking and used in a vehicular assault in Denver. The officers located the suspect, who had numerous felony warrants, in the apartment complex. A foot pursuit ensued, but the suspect was taken into custody. He's only 13 years old. Early Saturday morning, officers were called to the 6500 block of Ash Court after a man on the autism spectrum left this location following a fight with a family member. He's nonverbal and does not fully understand the consequences of being out in the cold, wet weather. Officers were able to find him, but he ran from them. He then returned to his own backyard, but again attempted to flee. Officers were fortunately able to convince him to seek voluntary medical attention, and we're very glad he's safe. Also on Saturday, overnight Friday into Saturday really, a CCPD officer spotted a vehicle speeding excessively on Tower Road approaching 96th Avenue. Radar confirmed the vehicle was traveling 89 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. The vehicle was weaving between lanes as well. The driver pulled over and admitted he had consumed a six-pack of beer about 30 minutes earlier. He also told officers that on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being sober, he felt like he was an 8. A breath test confirmed his blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit to drive. He's now facing charges for DUI, speeding more than 40 over, driving without a license, and a lane usage violation. Early Sunday morning, officers were called to a Denver hospital after a man showed up there saying he was stabbed at a bus stop in the 5600 block of Quebec. Fortunately, he is expected to survive his injuries. We put out surveillance images of a person of interest in this violent incident on our social media platforms yesterday, and by late last night, officers had identified and arrested that individual. He is now facing possible attempted murder charges. Thank you very much for your help sharing those pictures and calling our tip line with solid information that led to this arrest. Also on Sunday, a CCPD officer was sent to check on the well-being of a domestic violence victim who called 911 and appeared to be in some kind of altercation. The address was in the county, but the officer was familiar with the victim and suspect. He was first on scene and contacted the suspect, who lied about his name and attempted to get away as he was being taken into custody. The victim explained he had assaulted her. Adams County arrived on scene to take over the investigation. We are glad we were there and very glad she is safe. Also, a special thank you to everyone who participated in Saturday's DEA drug take-back event. The drop-off site was at King Soopers on 104th, and despite the weather being very cold and wet, 57 of you chose to dispose of your unused, unwanted, or expired prescription or over-the-counter medications, and 310 pounds of drugs will now be safely destroyed. Although we don't accept sharps at those take-back events, 50 pounds of needles were also collected for secure destruction at our medical waste partner. If you didn't make it Saturday, remember you can always drop your drugs in the permanent kiosk that is in our PD lobby. That's all for now. We'll see you next time. Have a safer week, Commerce City, and remember, if you need us, we are always just minutes away.